I'm back, people. Oh shit. Let me just I'm gonna check what the latest stuff I uploaded to YouTube was. I think we might be losing a couple of episodes due to this. 55 seems to be, no, 56. Okay. That's gonna be everything, I think. Just go to here. Give me a second here. Yeah, we're losing a couple. So there's no way we can select multiple and upload all of them. No chance. Not that many. Let's just do it. 67, 69, 73, 75, and now we're at 78. Something like that. It's not a perfect thing. Oh, Christian. No, this is not 2D. Well, it's got sprites. It's got them sprites. Thank you. This is my game, currently named Robes. Which is roguelike. Wow, this was a spicy first level. It's got the map from Slay the Spire. It's trying to have the economy from Snake RX and like Enter the Gungeon gameplay. So you kind of make your own like spell loadout. Currently rocking the Blizzard plus Blizzard is this one, and the Rail spell. I gotta figure out some good names for them at some point. And you beat these enemies, get some money, and then you buy shit. So this is an upgrade shop, which makes you able to upgrade your rail, for example, which makes it stronger. Blizzard, I'm gonna pick that. You can see it's slightly bigger now. One of the things I might want to tackle today is actually removing that. I want the upgrades to feel more interesting. Yeah, hold on. It'll be a little while before you can play it, but it's coming along. Oh shit! Oh. So yeah, it's a work in progress. You can, if you fall off, which isn't like I've fixed it to some degree. but you can kind of fall off and then dash. Like you have to press really hard against before you fall off. Like I'm pressing, and then you fall off, and then you can kind of dash back up. So I think that looks a little bit wonky, but we'll figure that out later. Ah, I took damage. I took damage. So if you have been here before, you can see I've zoomed the camera out slightly. Here's another concept, the concept of blessings, which is like passive stuff. It heals when you do a critical hit. It's mostly it's better when it's upgraded and you have another blessing which is called like increases in crit chance. Instant kill doesn't do much with this. I want to simplify a lot of this upgrading stuff. Make it better. Like I played or I tried playing. Hey, Isaacson, how you doing? Great. Anyway, so I've been playing like and watching Snake RX again, and it's like you do a lot more shopping. It feels like my shopping here. Like currently, I got 17, which is not usually how much money you have. So now I can kind of re-roll and maybe let's try to get that. Ooh. Like so. I guess we don't care about crit, but we do care about crit chance. And then Nova on hurt is good and movement speed is good. So now you can see me buying a lot of shit in one. I want to kind of spread that out. So maybe having more shops, more money, and maybe a little bit less of a big deal for each purchase. To maybe have like a lot smaller things as money sinks, like maybe increasing the haste by 1 point or something that's a little bit less substantial than the current, like whatever that is. Something that feels like it could cost like 1 unit or 2 units or something. And then everything that's a little bit more substantial should be a little bit more expensive. So there's like these 2 tiers of money. There's also the concept of maybe having like a experience like leveling system. Caught in the crossfire. It's going decently. Whoop. So in these games like Snake RX, and I guess I don't have another good reference, but that's where I got the leveling up of what? Shit, my window manager rebooted there right as shit were flying at me and took this is a hard level. The hard levels are named correctly, I would say. Really gotta have split vision here. Okay, there we go. Instead of the text pop-up, could it be icons like pluses or hearts on heal? Let's see, like in this shop menu. I'm considering, like I have this thing I've been drawing a couple of things. And one of the considerations, oh wait, I deleted that. Well, one of the considerations would be that we have an icon and then we have someone who sells the thing that tells you what it is. So icon, text, and then icon, price, and then you maybe pick which one you want. Hey, Focus Lab! Welcome! Thank you for the raid. How is your stream? Oh, you mean in battle? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's gonna change. Here's another like thing with the economy. Like down here, I just got like 8 or 10 or something coins, and then one spell costs 2. I don't know. Snapping photos. Shit. Why do you do that? Or what do you photos? Shit, my brain. What do you take photos of? Oh, got it. I gotta feed my addiction a little bit here. What's your game? If you want to drop a link or something. The day has all just begun here. It's 10 to 9 in the morning. Oh, far north. Very cool. I've seen this. Checking. Yes. We have talked before about this. This one looks so good. Very Swedish feeling maybe. Yeah, looks good. Oh, you got devlogs now. Oh wait, that's not now. That's a while ago. Very cool. So check that out, everyone. Snorth. Hello, Mind Rage. How are you doing? Have you recovered from the weekend yet, or are you still? So in this case, I'm gonna pick up Nova. So it gives us this attack, which is similar to the one we get when we get hurt. Still at it. Shit. Databases still being assholes. Got him. Ow! Took damage. Wait until this one is shot. Then go in for the kill. Ah! Ah! Get out! Let's check. Yeah. Looks pretty good. I love the Aurora Borealis. So are you doing some kind of press push or something? Or just randomly? Hello, Mustafi. By the way, hi, Summer. Sorry, I can't follow the chat. Why is my chat window like extremely small? Because Streamlabs OBS. Check this out. I don't think there's anything incriminating here. So I might have to like. I cannot resize this window. I'm not sure why. I could pop this out, but then I don't think that I can get it back in again. Maybe if I resize it and then put it in. Yeah, okay, that works, that works. And then maybe I can do this to maybe... Okay, that's better. So now I can see more of the chat. Very cool. Maybe I can even make this wider. Don't have to have this big preview. Okay, so some streaming news stuff. I have printed a bracket for my oh shit. Apparently upgraded my phone. Didn't enter my PIN code. I should do that if in case anyone calls me. Yes. So can I designed and what? How am I gonna do this? Is in this time of year, is this part of the globe localized entire within your kitchen? I don't know. I don't know what you're saying, man. So I have I 3D printed this bracket. I designed and 3D printed it and velcroed, double-sided velcro it to my screen. And I originally made it for my regular phone, my iPhone. But then my previous phone was like the Galaxy S8, S10, and I figured, why don't I just use that? So back looks like this. It's been so much better than trying to balance my Gorilla Pod tripod thing on top of here. So that's an improvement, and yeah. A clown doesn't bother me going from Android to Mac. Well, I guess I went from Android to iOS, not to Mac, but I guess that's what you're saying here. I recently also went from Windows to Mac, though, but I'm not sure. I started on iOS and then did that until like iPhone 6 or something, and then I went through like the OnePluses and a few Samsungs, like a Note and an S8 and then the S10, and then I felt like I wanted a small iPhone. So it's not been that long since I switched back to iPhone. I don't know. Keyboard. Yeah, I still haven't built my new one. I mean, iOS is okay. I miss some things from Android. Mostly like the hardware and like photos turn out pretty good, but they do on Android too now, so I'm not sure. I just enjoy different things. LG, yeah, I don't know. Do we want spells or blessings? What do you think? Oh, I guess I picked blessings. Got this really bright. You chill out. So in this case, I don't think we want more movement speed. Hello, cat. You want to be on stream? Want to come up here? You've been outside? Hey, kitty. This is Zelda. Can you hear her purr? Maybe not. Maybe not. Take it easy, Mind Rage. We're gonna re-roll here, I think. Range is nice. But I can't pick it up because I'm full on upgrades. I could see potentially getting rid of No One Hurt, but let's not. Pierce is not really that useful. AoE on kill. I don't know. Footsteps illuminate. I hear what you're saying. Maybe that's a thing. Like, whoops. Grass makes the whoa, it's starting to heat up a little bit here. Oh. Ow. Why are you not dying? Here we go. Look, Rockstar. How you doing? Not doing... Oh, shit. I guess we are doing hard room. Let's see down here what we want to do. We definitely want to get hard room, shop, and then... Yeah. Okay, so let's see if we can survive this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what we'll do today, but maybe we'll start tackling that the big bad prototype of removing the numerical level upgrades in favor of specific upgrades per spell, or like the level part of stuff. Like, I think it's a little bit confusing, and it's not that, it doesn't feel that... Oh shit. Oh, bullet hell. Ah! It's not good. I also have a cat licking me, which makes it a little bit harder to... Gotta survive this. There's one more. Let's see if we can. No, we couldn't. Yeah, I do everything except for audio and publishing. Cool. So, I think the game is it's in a pretty good place. Like, it's very playable, but let's figure out some more of this. We also have this thing we started. Where I guess it doesn't really work that way. But we started this, which I think, like, from a let's just turn this off. Let's move this like over here or something. Yeah, that's gonna be good. So, no? In a lake of emotions, so we started this, which I think looks really nasty and cool, and is part of the lore of the game, and has been like since the very start. But I don't know exactly what to do with it yet. I think it's gonna hurt you, but I'm not entirely sure how. Yeah, we need some good shader to it that does, yeah, that should have some kind of edge, Fresnel, something that kind of makes it look a little bit more ethereal. Just like a black. In the lore, it kind of, it is like a mold thing. Yeah, that's part of it. Is like, so this is made out of like these little globes that kind of connect. Or Breath of the Wild, or ominous black ooze from other TV and movie stuff. But the idea would be that some of these would be like eyeballs, and some of them might be that you can destroy, and then they would like destroy some of this. The aftermath? Is that a thing? And one idea would be that maybe some of the enemies, when you kill them, they drop this shit. Oh yeah, exactly what you're saying. But maybe some of the bigger enemies could drop one of these, and then then you gotta hurry up, because that's gonna be like expanding and be an issue. Like, I can't get to some of the places on the map. I have to take like other ways around to get to places, but it needs to be very clear where you can walk and where you can't. This is like a little bit like, can I go here? How close can I go? It's gotta, there's something there that needs you know. I guess it needs not exactly depth, but it needs what should we call it? It needs clear, defined boundaries, I think. But yeah, so and having like red outlines could be a thing that does that. Well, we'll see what happens. Just turn it off for now. I think we have to consider it, because the way I envision this being, the game being about you going into an infected, or the ruins would be like the ruins of a city that's overrun by this shit. No one lives there anymore. Maybe there's a few people you meet. Maybe those are the shopkeepers and stuff. And the closer to the center, which is like your goal, whatever that is going to be. So you're tracking through this city, broken down like ruins of a city. Oh, thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. And further you go in, the more this mold is kind of more and more present in different ways. And sometimes maybe I pre-bake the level with a little bit of it, and then maybe that's for like the later levels. And in the beginning, it might not be that obvious. Maybe it's one enemy has it per level or something. And in the end, it's going to be really really prevalent. We'll see exactly about how that'll turn out. So I think we need to, at some point, figure that out. Yeah. Heat or distance sensor as a warning. I think it should be obvious without looking at UI or anything like that. It could be that the goop itself doesn't, or the mold or whatever, doesn't directly damage you, but maybe it shoots, or maybe it explodes when you get close. Things like that could be interesting. This is Unity. Yeah, I know what you mean, but I think it should be obvious before it happens, Exo. Posture. Yeah, I'm a lay down in front of the computer dude. I've always been. So, the way let's start by seeing what kind of effects it would have if I removed the levels on things. How close can I zoom in? You mean in the editor? Or if you want to see how things look like up close, this still works. There is like the arms kind of fall apart at close ranges. One of the things I want to do, like you saw here, like I want when you select your first spell, you currently do that in the shop, and I want that to happen in some kind of UI more obvious way. So I want to be able to zoom in like this. For that to work, at some point I gotta fix up. Like I think the pixel art could look pretty cool. Like maybe not quite that close, but this close could work. And then I fix up how the arms work, and then I can like rotate the player around like a little bit like this. And I think that could look pretty cool in terms of almost like that World of Warcraft character selection screen, but you're selecting the different spells you have. Shouldn't be that complex, and you can do like these cool like zoom ins and zoom outs to take you to the level and whatever. Yeah, I'm happy to go into stuff while I'm thinking here. So lighting is currently, it's like lit by 2 lights. And then I have this shader. Let's go to shaders, which I actually made in a shader graph, which I feel like maybe is a bad idea. So I got 2 versions of it, one for sprites and one for the environment. So this shader has like this, it has a depth fog, and it's got this layered, let's see what it's called here. Yeah, there's a rolling fog, which is this thing that comes rolling over, and that is actually baked on the like rendering the geometry. And then we got the depth fog, which is also that, it just does that. And then I also got a thing that makes it darker the higher up you go. These are all configurable. And then it's got like some emission stuff. And then it's got like a custom... why is it doing this? Come on. Where is... it's this. Feels like that is already, but maybe it's another version of Unity now. Drafts meeting. Okay, that's maybe worse. Yeah, so I got this custom lighting stuff. So there's actually a like the shader base shader thing is actually a using an unlit shader that where I do the lighting myself using this very simple thing, and I do that because I want like colored shadows and I want to be able to do things. Yeah, I also got from a viewer actually. I adapted it for shader graph, but it's mostly I don't remember the name of the person. I can check, but anti-aliased texel lookup or texture lookup. So if you zoomed in, you could actually. I don't think I have it on right now because it doesn't matter in high resolutions. In lower resolutions, it does show up, but you get anti-aliased texture lookups, which is really cool when you have low resolution textures on 3D geometry. It looks a lot better. Yeah, so that's generally how the rendering and lighting works. It's also got capabilities for this wavy stuff, and this is actually using the same shader, if I'm not mistaken. The waviness here is like a bunch of noise things that are using the red channel of the texture of the vertex color. Like the lower that red is, the more it waves, and I use that when I generate the texture or generate the quads that make up the grass. Okay, so let's get back to this whole levels of things. The problem I see with removing it is that I gotta put something else in to balance that removal out. Otherwise, you won't have enough stuff to spend your shit on or spend your currency on. Another thing I want is maybe maybe putting items on the map, sort of, so that some levels have currency rewards and some have an actual item. And yeah, maybe shops should happen more often. Like in Snake RX, it's between each level. I'm not sure. So it's one of those changes that takes a few steps before you know if it is worth it. So that's actually yeah, we're pretty much committed up here. It doesn't there's nothing that we'll lose if we roll back, which is a good thing. So a lot of the spells and stuff have like different values. This is like depending on which level you're at, your Nova spell has different number of projectiles. Same with like the Arcane Bolt. It's like if you are level 1, you shoot 1 bolt. If you're level 2, you shoot 2. Level 3, you shoot 3. Like in different configurations. And I feel like it's not that interesting. In many of the cases, like the Blizzard has different sizes. Which is like the only one that I really care about. Like the rail is either it's too good or the upgrades aren't good enough. We got a couple of like Pierce, doesn't really matter unless you're using Arcane Bolt. So I feel like many of the blessings I have could instead be like, think of the Daedalus Hammer in Hades, where you get a random selection of upgrades that can apply to any of your equipped spells. So it could be like Arcane Bolt adds another bolt, or it could be travels much faster, or it could be adds an explosion if you hit the wall, or it could be leaves a trail of something. I don't know. So instead of like having these upgrades be from level 1 to level 2, it's like more of a specific thing. And then maybe those can mix. Like it moves faster and it leaves a trail. And then you could maybe reuse the same kind of upgrade for multiple spells. So you could apply the trail one to the rail maybe, and after the rail is gone, there's a trail underneath it. I'm not sure if it probably can't be applied to the Blizzard. But yeah, so I have a couple of concepts. Let me see here. Where you could apply things to, like projectiles, beams. Maybe you can bring dead enemies back to life. I really want to add back the concept of corpses of enemies, so that maybe those can spread the goop. They could also be like exploded with the corpse explosion spell. And I just gotta have a reason to pick corpse explosion over, for example, Blizzard, which yeah. And the idea is that as long as you pick one spell that's sort of an attack, you should be able to play the game with any combination. Not as good, like not balanced. You'll have to figure that one out yourself. But yeah. Sorry, Pollux. I don't know. I think you got to be more specific in your question there. Are you doing it in a web interface, or do you just want a tool that does it? I don't know. No, I wrote my own localization thing. It's kind of rudimentary at this point. You can just switch here to Swedish, between Swedish and English, and it actually does update everything when you switch it out. Even these, it turns out, I didn't even think that would work. But does it if I switch to English? Yeah, it does work. Cool. Yeah, so the way that works is I got these files, resources localization, and I got these files with like one line is the key prefixed with a thing, and then name or a text, got comments in there. This is the same system I used for Hells of the Demons. Sortable lists in what, like in a programming language, like for the web or for this is also part of the current topic, which is how do I do when you have different levels? Do I bake the numbers in these files, or do I need to add another layer which has like string substitution somehow? How do you save that state in the database? You just have a column or whatever you use with an index, and then you update when you move something, I'd say. And then you order by that in the UI. Depending on if you need like paging and stuff, it can be a little bit weird to do in the rendering phase or in the front end. Yeah, so also if I remove something from like the Swedish translation, it also falls back to the English one, which is useful. But anyway, so that's the plan, at least, to rip out that, and then I gotta figure out like how do I make all these upgrades. Like I could see like the dash having a lot of different upgrades, like maybe it's a teleport instead of a dash, so you're not really like moving from point to point. Maybe you add a little AoE at the start and the end of a dash, like it's the Frost Dash, which adds like the Blizzard AoE at the start and the end. Maybe it's something else. Maybe you deflect all bullets and turn them into your own whenever you dash through a bullet. I feel like I have a lot of ideas for most of these. The rail could be like make it bigger. It could be like I currently have the concept of bounds, which is applied to anything, like every bullet or anything. Maybe bounds could be applied specifically to the rail. Maybe the rail becomes like a snaky thing, which would be cool because it could kind of hit a wider area or something. Maybe the rail leaves a trail, like we said before. Like there seems to be a bunch of them. The Nova, one upgrade could be like add projectiles. One could be like leave some AoE as you use it. One could be I could even make a lot more complex things. Like let's say one of the effects that can happen when you do something is that it drops a healing AoE area of effect, like in that specific place that lasts for 5 seconds or something. And then we place that down. Homing is interesting too. Maybe an upgrade for the rail could be like does more damage the more enemies you pass through. So to play really well, like you would always try to rail through an enemy and into like from a small enemy to a big enemy. Maybe it could be that I add the concept of armored enemies and the rail would kind of penetrate armor. I feel like there's a lot of those kind of upgrades to a spell that a simple like level 1, level 2, level 3 don't capture, and that the blessings or passive upgrade system, it's not like incompatible with this, but it feels like a little bit more like pick this upgrade for a like you go into the upgrade shop, it shows you if you pick this, your rail will do more damage if you shoot through enemies, rather than having something in the corner. I don't know. And the idea, or I guess one of the things we need to discuss is like, how often do you get these upgrades? And I want to make it more often than, like I want you to have more than 5 of those upgrades. And the same with like, or more than 5 of the you can have 5 blessings right now. I don't think I want to have a limit on the number of blessings or spell upgrades you can have. Maybe that's more of a thing, like all of them could have like reduce cooldown by a certain amount. I also want to get back to the concept of charges. So maybe you can shoot 3 rails in quick succession, and then there's a cooldown. And you could increase the number you can shoot before there's a cooldown. You could increase... that's the kind of level I want. And you could like continuously upgrade that to get... to get more, I guess. I've seen but not played Nova Drift. I need to play more roguelike. I mostly played, like the one I played the most is probably Hades, Nuclear Throne, and I guess a little bit of Isaac. I want to play more, but at the same time, I'm more interested in making roguelikes than playing roguelikes. This one is good though. Like I really enjoy playing this because it feels like it's like fast enough, and I know it well enough, obviously. So who cares? Shall we just dive in and remove the concept of levels to spells, and maybe also remove the upgrade stuff for now, and then in the shops you can never buy an item that you already have. I just feel like that this is just like taking away stuff without really giving anything. Let's just try it. So there is this concept of I has spell, I has level. One way of quickly seeing everything would be to do this. We will get errors in every place where I use this level thing. So for example, the blessings are based on this. So this probably means I have to go through and remove all the blessings, or like rebalance all the blessings. Set their values up. We have all this code for leveling stuff up. We also got all these like stats that are tangentially related. doesn't seem to be a lot of... Let's just do this now, and so the only time we can buy a blessing, if we're not gonna be leveling it up, is if we're not having it. So player blessings contains this, and the blessings count is lower than blah blah blah. We can get rid of this. Now we say, if we don't already have it, cool. And then we have this level up thing. Let's just get rid of it. For now. Description. Let's clean that out too while we're at it. This is gonna have ripple effects. Just see. Let's do blessings first and see. So now we have this. Oh, this is so fun. On kill blessing. So this has all these different rank stats. Now we're only gonna have one level, so we're gonna make all these to float. We've got to set them up to some default values, and amount is like how much haste we will get. And the way we apply that is, we modify stat, we do stat plus amount. All these get level, we just get rid of it. Ooh, it might be good to have this. We'll do it. This is how much haste are we gonna get? And haste is used how? We also do it to cooldown, which is also like one of those things which I wanna rip up, where cooldowns definitely overlaps with the haste stat. I don't know if I want that, and also like if we're gonna do like, maybe this should be on a specific item instead, or a specific spell. But yeah, so the amount is gonna be add on to haste. How is haste used? It's gonna take a while. Player stats. Just check haste here. Why is, oh, there's. This is only used here, so we divide by haste. So the higher this one goes, the lower this value goes. We want to add here. I have no idea what it should be, like 0.5 maybe. Duration could be like 5 seconds or 2.5 seconds. Let's do that. Chance. 0.1. every 10 enemies you kill when it's not on cooldown will get you in this state. I don't know about this. Yeah, and then we got the minimum interval. Fun time. So this is that one fixed, I think. Heal on crit blessing. This is mostly gonna be like removing this and make it a float. Say amount is gonna be, if we crit, it's gonna be 2 or something. He repurposed them somehow to make the blessings more applicable to more spells. I don't know. One thing I want to do is maybe like remove the concept of player having stats at all. Maybe the stats all live on individual spells, so that you would upgrade the number of charges of something instead. I'm not. It would be nice to remove one concept here. Max HP blessing, like a float amount, and this is like gonna be adding like 50. And this is one of the examples of things that don't apply to a single spell. But maybe you can only have one HP blessing on one spell, but you can have another HP upgrade on another spell. And if like this is maybe counter to what I said before, but maybe the spells have a max number on each of them, max number of upgrades, so that you gotta choose, do you want to actually spend your slots on HP? I don't know, maybe. So change this to this, remove this part here. It takes you from 100 to 150. I think that's too much. Especially if you can add them to multiple spells. We'll figure it out. Let's continue. Movement speed. This is also like adding, let's say, 0.25 to the movement speed. Oh, this multiplies, so 125. Just power through. It's not taking that long. Pierce. I don't like this stat. It feels like that definitely something that would apply to a specific spell instead. Close this down. Give me a sec to check what I have. My secrets. Just give me a second here. Here we go. I'm back. There's no such thing as a IHAS level. Okay, we're gonna remove that. Remove all this. Whoops. It's bound to be some errors. can purchase the only compose spell if there is a free spell slot and we don't already have it. Spells contains this with a not in front. So on purchase, this will try to overlap it. We don't care about that. We would just do get free slot, set up the slot, and do that. No more leveling up or anything. The level. It's gonna give us more errors, of course. Range is one of those, like, is there any of the blessings that I actually like, or should everything be upgrades on the actual spells instead? I don't like this one either. So this, sure it's just amount. Set the float to something. So that adds to the value, which means we'll increase range with 50%. Good. Continue. Spawn on kill. Get rid of this. It's also upgrade I'm not that fond of. So the chance is going to be 1 in 10. Yeah, spawn it at whatever size it is, since it doesn't change. Chance. Stack stat blessing. This one has level up on it. Why shouldn't override be? Is it blessing that has? Oh, is it this? No. Why are you not? Get number display. Oh, okay. Let's get rid of that for now. Stack stat blessing. It's got the level up. Screw the level up. Do we need to do anything else? Apply will add modifier, update the value. Yes. So we don't need to do that. Is this now good? Maybe blessings to player effects and stats but upgrades a spell. Yeah, maybe. Crit damage and heal on crit are blessings, but spell upgrades are a chain of choices for upgrading spells. Let me read that again. Maybe blessings to player effects and stats, but upgrades are spell specific. Like crit damage and heal on crit are blessings, but spell upgrades are a chain of... Why wouldn't you have like crit chance for a specific weapon then? Or I say weapon, I mean spell. Couldn't you have crit chance be... The rail has a crit chance? Because it's also like the one of the issues I'm having with, like, for example, balancing the arcane bolt, which is like a machine gun style spell, which does damage like, I don't know, 10 times a second almost, or something like that, and the rail, which does damage like a lot less often, is like things like crit really, it becomes really hard to have the same value for crit chance on both those anyway, because like maybe the rail should have a much higher crit chance because it does it so much less often. So when it triggers something like a heal on crit, maybe the railgun could also have like a higher number of heal on crit because it happens less often. And then the machine gun has some other value. It's nice if they are actually different. Like if it's better to have heal on crit with the machine gun style spell than the railgun style. Or at least that they operate in different ways. Maybe you get a small trickle of heals with the machine gun style, but a big heal with the railgun when that hits or something. And maybe the crit, like maybe a rail also, like a rail should be a crit rail where it crits all the enemies in the rail, not just one of them randomly in the center, so that the crit could be more of a thing, and then you could increase the crit chance if you hit 5 enemies or something. I feel like, yeah, maybe a lot of the stats I have on the player maybe should be on the spells instead. Make it easier to balance them. Bounces too, like yeah, there's a lot of these that I don't. Just don't feel like they are that interesting. Cost time. I don't really have cost time on any of the spells. It doesn't. This is added to the cost speed. I don't even know. Let's just give it some value. Seems some things are specific to the magic user skill, but others are techniques learned how to do a specialized spell better. I'm not sure how to parse that, but I need something to drink. Give me a sec. Okay. Listen to that. Oh, Sul, of course. Drop it. We'll watch it. We'll watch it together. Let's do this. Hello there. Still haven't seen the movie.
Get ready for the new and awesome edition of Kung Fury Street Rage. A day at the beach. What could possibly be more epic than a true hero?
Triceratops
Another
mask?
hero.
Let's go.
Double trouble. Enjoy the breathtaking multiplayer as Player 2 joins the
That's
fight.
good.
Yeah,
Really good.
2. Because teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh,
Play
it's not a
as
mask. It's the
Hasselhoff,
actual.
the world's most iconic lifeguard, steps in with his singing prowess and, oh, that's some nice chest hair, sir. More action, more awesome. This game just has more. Choose your stage. Punch Nazis in the sewers, on the beach, in the Viking Age. Hell, punch Nazis everywhere, all the time. Kung
Punching.
Fury, Street Rage. A Day at the Beach. Available right now
Looks
on
really good.
Steam.
Good work. I hope it's bringing in the bacon. Looks good. Let's. Coin pull. We don't even have coins. There's so much craft, like things left over by old stuff. I hope less is more here. Crit damage. We add to crit damage, I guess. Yes, we do. And is that a? I don't even know if that's a number. It's just a number, so this is how much crit we do with a specific thing. Yeah. So this value should probably be something like 50 or something. Blessings are general about the player, upgrades are specific about this. Yeah, something like that. But I'm just thinking, like, maybe we don't need to separate the concepts at all. Maybe everything is on the spell. So if you want a health upgrade, you gotta kind of infuse it like a rune or a gemstone on the spell. So say like, think about Final Fantasy's materia system. You got a health up, HP plus orb, and you put it in one of the spells, and then you get more HP, and then you can only have one of the same at each, or at least we'll never offer an upgrade of something to a spell if you already have it. So that also incentivizes you to pick up more spells. It's not a perfect thing, but it's pretty good. I think it's a start at least. Yeah, I think a lot of these will just get removed. Maybe there are combo upgrades, which is like rail does more damage the more AoE things are active, or maybe it's like rail does more damage. Maybe it's not a combo thing. Maybe it's just like enemies take more damage when they're frozen or something. Hello, Matt's D-Power. It's a roguelike, action roguelike, or roguelite. Hello, Biacho. Thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. But yeah, max health. It could be living on the spells too. Like, let's put a vitality gem in your big burly shoulder pads or whatever. And then for each upgrade, we could specify which spells they can be applied to. Would love it if we could avoid having that kind of gem-like interface, so you don't have to like specify where something should live. You don't have slots. It's just like put it on. It lives on the spell somehow. But the staff, including max health. I mean, like, I'm not sure what you mean. The staff as in a weapon? There is no staff, but we have one of the ideas is that the spells would represent different weapons rather than like the abstract spell, and then we can do that. So you have one left hand, one thing, like you can have two main items, like damaging items. One is in the left hand, one is in the right hand, symbolized by the left and right click on the mouse. I have like a primary and a secondary, and they're just the same. And then we have two more. Like we have one that's the dash by default, but could be something else. And then we have one that is sort of a thing that's more like the Nova style, which is not like aimed. It's around where the player is. Maybe that's an amulet or something. And the cape could be the dash thing, and an amulet for like what's bound to Q. The reason I picked these specifically is because I could modify the cape, the texture on the cape really easily, and I could add some kind of neck thing pretty easily. Maybe hat, but not sure. Hat would be fun though. Some hair. I need to take a shower. Gonna do that on lunch. Is chance meant to be a percentage increase? For this? Yes. It adds this number to whatever stat is at default. It's not a percent, it's an add, if you add two percentages together, not multiply them together. Mads. VS Code, yeah, it's pretty clean. It's you didn't ask for the color scheme, so I don't have to switch it out. That's one of the rules. So I use Pale Night or Ocean, depending on how I feel. Sometimes it's community, and sometimes it's whatever I have. Pale Night is pretty nice. I need to create an FAQ at some point, but I don't like the bulkiness of Visual Studio. Also, I'm on Mac, which means Visual Studio is not really Visual Studio anyway. Infusible articles. Left right glove, boots, robe, hat. Maybe. Then I have to have another button to activate something. Like I would love it if there was a clean mapping between what you can have. Like there is a spell, which is something that you can equip somewhere. Maybe it's called like an item. Rider works on Mac, I think, yes. I would much rather use Rider than Visual Studio if I had to choose. But VS Code works fine. Now that I got it set up, I also like, since I do other stuff than C#, I like having VS Code because it's really good at web dev. Much better than any Visual Studio. But say we have the concept of a spell or an item that is an active item. You can activate it, it does something. We have 4 slots to say left click, right click, 2 thumb buttons, or Q and F. So you get 4 things, and then that's what you can equip, and that's what you can upgrade or infuse stuff with. Cooldown speed adds to, I think it's the same as haste pretty much. You just add 50%. I don't care, I'm gonna remove it anyway. Let's just get it compiling here first before we do anything else. I have level. Yeah, there's some reroll. Nope. Getting closer. But I feel like maybe just ripping out the whole concept of blessings and just have it as things you can infuse on your spells or whatever, if they're weapons. Maybe it's like a dagger. The other thing I want to add is an alt fire for all spells, but I don't know what the UX for that would be. One thing, like here on in Rider, you can actually get values that are applied here that would have been really useful. At least you can with some types, if you don't have multiple instances of them. It's really smart in ways. I mean, in Rider, if you have an instance of a mono behavior, you can see what values you actually have in the instance of it in Unity inside of Rider. Pretty sure. unless I'm like screwing that up. Writer, editor, Unity. Let's see if we can. Maybe let's go here. Maybe they have it on. They don't have an X. Yeah, I might consider using Rider at some point. But you do that. You do get that EXO. Like if I had this instance here, I could see what value is set on a game object in Unity, right? For this instance, for an instance of a thing. Okay, are we there? Are we there? One more. Yeah. So now we should be. Whoops. Shit. This rot goes deep. I've been terrible at streaming lately. I'm gonna do it more now. I feel like I'm much more happy when I stream than when I don't. So yeah. Maybe 12. Orbitals I wanna totally. Add will apply then, so we don't need to level up. This also gets cleaner without the level content. Simplify! But there are so many places where I use this. One of these days, we're gonna redo my VM too. I don't know what the IntelliCode is. Is that like the GitHub kind of smart thing? What's happening with my VM, or the thing when this thing up here disappears? My VM dying, like a window manager, not virtual machine. W, not V. Okay. Yeah, it's the GitHub, whatever that's called. Yeah, I don't see it being useful. Like I sometimes I like to not look up solutions to things just because I like writing them. So GitHub Copilot, that's the name. Thank you. We'll figure that one out. So much craft. Thank you, Ware. John. See ya. It's gonna break everything. Because I don't have a way to port whatever was in there. That's what I'm saying, except. There's also like That was... focus. Oh, shop items and their costs. Everything costs as their first level now, apparently. Is this ever used? Or is it? Oh. Let's figure that out. So sell cost, calculate costs. Level 1. Here's our new level text. It doesn't compile. It should be fine. Then check out our blessings. I think a lot of them is gonna have, they're just gonna have the wrong amount here, and I think maybe they shouldn't exist. Just checking. They seem pretty much correct. speed is still in there. What was the value? It's like 120. Let's increase it a little bit, maybe 150. Just the speed at which the orbitals are spinning. I don't see a reason why you couldn't get a spell as a reward for clearing a path. This one should... No, it's already having... Good, good, good. Looks great. Looks good, looks good. Okay, I think we're ready to apply this. Okay, so let's see if we can get this running now. Let's get our run manager running. Can we buy it? We cannot buy it. I think there is some issue here. Can't buy anything. Because we can't afford it. That's the problem. It would be nice if it actually showed something. Can't afford or something. So everything costs too much now. Yeah, game still runs. Okay, so now we get a new selection here, and we get dash again, even though we already have it. So we can't buy that. We could buy this, I think, yes. And that seems to be working. Like, press Q, drop a grenade. Seems fair. And then if I sell that and buy arcane shards instead, you can shoot with Q, and that also works. Nice. Okay, so I would say we have just removed the level system like we talked about. So upgrades. The upgrade room is now not usable or useful. So what if we remove the upgrade room? I think the shop room randomizes which type of shop it's gonna be. Gnarly rift. Okay. Then the next step would be to consider creating all those spell upgrades. And then each spell, composed spell, will have a list of the current upgrades. And they will also like contain the stats somehow. I wonder how to fix this. So these are the things we're testing. Currently prototyping. We have remove levels. Upgrades live on spells specifically. We want to have maybe stats, or how should this work? Let's check how a spell, like, let's look at the grenade works, for example. So the grenade toss, let's actually use rail as an example, because that actually uses the cooldown. So what I'm thinking is, I want to make the rail, to use an example then, I want to have the rail use a charges system instead, so that it can shoot, in this case, let's say the upgraded version has 3 charges, you can quickly, after each other, shoot 3 rails. And then there's a period of recharge, and then you can shoot 3 more. Or potentially they regenerate over time. So if you wait a little bit, you can do 3 in a quick succession. Something like that. Same with probably Arcane Bolt. No, I'm not talking about that yet, EXO. So health would not have charges. So every spell will be composed by different things. And then we have this upgrade that's called Charges Upgrade. And the Charges Upgrade will be applied to one of your spells that has a Charges component on it. No, health is not a spell, so I'm not sure why you're saying that. Health is not a spell. And no, it's not the same for all the spells. Some spells might not have charges. We're gonna remove cast cooldown, and we're gonna set up our run manager to contain rail instead of grenade toss. Gonna turn off the run manager, and then just to test it, I think we can now shoot like a lot because we don't have the cooldown thing applied. So let's see if we can fix up the charges, cost charges here. So we have a count on the charges. Let's say we start with 3 and then we got recharge interval. I'm not sure what that means. The current recharge interval is dependent on cooldown speed. I want to remove all references to like the global player stats if I can. And then we'll see what happens. So the way I want it is cost charges will actually have an internal interval that can be increased or reduced. Yeah, I don't think health is part of that though. So actually, the cost charges is gonna be a stacked stat, so we can modify that. So stack stat, type int. We can't really initialize it here, I think. Can we? Could we have done this? Don't know if that works. So I don't know how recharge interval works. We're gonna have use interval. This is gonna be like a delay at the end of. Oh. Let's see if this works. This is like. So I have this system where a spell has a bunch of these other components that are referred to using the I can cast and I during cast and something else. I don't remember. So the way I want to set it up is that first it's going to go through the cast charges, and when that's done, like when its I during cast is done, it's gonna fall to the cooldown, because I want upgrades that affect the cooldown be separate to upgrades that affect the cost charges kind of component. So we'll see how this works exactly. But the first step is to use stack.float use interval. This use interval will be inside of while you're having. Can I do this even? Current setup, I'm not sure. Simplify. These are used for UI. I'm gonna comment them out for now. We have current charges, we've got the tick, we've got an update, and then things are done. But like during cost, tick cost is what happens when see how this is used. Sorry, I'm let's say, for example, the rail spell costs tick cast at inside of during cost. This says something was just used, and then cost charges will reduce the charge and so on, and then return from this. But did we ever? We don't really do anything with this. So this one doesn't properly support. Well, we'll figure it out. I don't know that I need the update. This will happen after the during cost of the rail. Wow, this is a complex system. If current charges equals 0, yield return new wait for seconds, and then we're gonna get the current value of the use interval. Well, on the recharge interval. So this is not going to use the cooldown like I said right now. Let's say it takes a second for it to recharge. Something like that. We do recharge interval current value. Otherwise we just wait a frame. Tick reduces those. And after it's done that, we're gonna do current charges equals count. And this, I don't think I need it at all at this point, so let's just take that out of the equation for now. It would be nice to do something like spell player. Actually, it's floating text manager instance show text at the root of player. So spell player position let's do 2 up, and then the text is gonna be template string. If I could press the right buttons would be great. like that, and then we also put this. Oh, we have restore charges. That's restore 1 charge. Okay, never mind. It's just for debugging. I'm gonna remove it later. So there's gonna be count current value. That's gonna be the same. Cool. Well, let's apply this. Oh, cool, Wills. How's your progress? Cost charges. Here we go. We're gonna have 3 charges. That didn't work. The slash spell. This is not good. Okay. Let's just keep it and get this. And that's not gonna work though. We'll see. What is this? Slash we don't even use, so current value. I want to get back to it though. I'm also very handsome, and what's it called in English when you're self-defeating or whatever? You got it. You got it. You got it. Okay, so I can't shoot with my rail now because something is not set to an instance of an object. Modifiers. Stack stats. Update value. What the what? What's this? Movement action player stats stack stats. Oh shit. Did I just screw this up by doing this? I think I did. Get rid of that. Or no, yes, I did. Okay, so gonna have errors here in cost charges where we try to create these. Let's just assume we don't do that. Okay. IEnumerators, in this case, it's used for coroutines, which is a way to spread code over several frames. It's like multi-threading, but it's actually not multi-threaded. Okay, I still can't shoot. I'm not sure why. I can do this. What's going on with the thing now then? Cost charges, base value, current charges, larger than 0. Current charges is gonna be 0, and then if we do this, yay! 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3, and then 0 out of 3, and restored charges. We can do 3, and then restored. See? This is what I wanted. Hey! Adam! Thank you so much. How you doing, dude? that's nice coming from you. Coming from anyone, really. Yeah, so you start with one charge, and then you can upgrade it with more charges. Maybe infinite number of charges. What are we working on, or what are you learning, Adam? So, well, yeah, keep all the local variables and resume the function next time. So an example of that would be, let's see if I have a good example here for learning. Let's say it's a little bit complex, but here is a coroutine. This is started as a coroutine. So this is when you enter a room, you want to like spawn enemies, and you don't want to spawn all the enemies at once, but it makes sense to have it as in one function so that you can kind of step through each group, wait a little bit between them, show some effects and so on. So you start coroutine, enter, and you can pass in some parameters. And then you got all these yield return statements. So this is just waiting for one frame. And then all these are other kind of coroutines, which will run the fade in until it's done, and then it will return. And then the execution will continue here. Sorry if the text is a little bit small, maybe. Same here, like the player respawn function happens over a couple of frames. So player respawn creates this effect, and then it repositions the player, and then it waits for 1/8 of a second. And then we do a little shake to indicate something happened, and then wait for a little bit more, and so on. And this happens like over a couple of frames, so it's pretty neat. So for example, if you want to trigger the next wave, this is a little bit complex of an example, but here is the for each out of each wave. And if we scroll all the way down, we have this wait here. Wait until all enemies are killed, or blah, 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 blah. And then the wave duration runs out unless it's the last wave, right? So it has this infinite loop here that breaks out at different points. And in the end, it just waits for one frame and then checks the values again. And then when it's done, it kind of, stops spawning or continues with the next thing. Character modeling. Low poly stuff to texture with pixel art. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's doing that. It's also checking if there's a timer, so that either you kill all the enemies or the timer runs out. It goes through. It's not the simplest example. Maybe I have something else, but it's a pretty neat way. And there are two ways of doing it in Unity. So you got the coroutines, which are actually, the good thing about them is that they're executed on the main thread, which is both good and bad, because it's not gonna make use of your multi-core processor. But a lot of things in the Unity APIs requires to be put on the main thread. Like if you're spawning something, or like if you're modifying things at a specific point in time, you want that to happen on the main thread. That makes coroutines pretty decent for doing that. You can also use async await, which is actually doing things on different threads. You can also use threading, I guess. So, I don't know. Async await also allows you, say you have let's say a long-running process like level generation. You can do like a lot of things, and then at the end of that async await call, you can return the result, sort of. And that's really cumbersome to do with the coroutine due to not having actual return types. So you have to kind of listen for something to happen and then check the last value and convert that, and it's just a whole weird thing. And that's much easier with async await. There are 3 things: actual threading, async await, and then coroutines. All are valid for different things. Coroutines is probably the one that has the highest overhead. So maybe don't do it on every projectile in a bullet hell game or something. But yes. And the job system. True. True, EXO. There are so many ways of doing things. Okay, cool. So now we have our thing here, which worked. Try to click my way through. Yeah, it is more or less perfect. And I think use interval is not used, so let's set that up. So here, during cast, we will, instead of yield return null, we return new, wait for seconds, and then we do use interval current value instead. This way I think we'll have a longer period between each. Yeah, now I can click quickly, but it doesn't happen that quickly. Right? So the way the composed spell thing works is it's gonna pick up the I during cast from the rail spell, and then it's gonna pick the one from cost charges. And then I'm thinking it would be cool if the cooldown triggered after the charges yeah, maybe that could be a thing, but also maybe it's easier to just not do that at this point. We'll see if it works. So think of the yield return as, okay, I'm gonna stop now. Here, take this. And usually it's not something that you pass to someone else. It's only really used to pass another task. Let's say inside of your coroutine, you wanna wait for something. So you do new, wait for seconds, for example, or you have your own thing that waits for something or whatever. So that's what you yield, and that goes back to the outside world, and then that processes that, and then it kind of returns at that stage later. So whenever you feel like I'm done for now, you can get your yield return, or use your yield return to. That's like I yield my, I don't know, my action for right now, and someone else continue. Let me know when I can continue. Cool. Let's continue with something. Let's try to make an upgrade to this spell. Let's call this like cost charges spell mod or something. And we'll create a spell mod base class. Create a new folder called like spell mods. New file, spell mod CS, and be a mono behavior by default. And it's going to be applied to a composed spell. So let's have a public void apply on a composed spell, and it's going to be virtual, of course, because we want to do that. And then we also want to have a public virtual bool can apply to composed spell. I forgot the spell here. And the default is going to be like true. This is where we would figure out if something can be applied. I don't know if it's a great example, but maybe we'll figure out a good example while we're doing this. Let's see. So, public virtual bool can apply, return true, and then apply would do something. And each composed spell will have a list of spell mods. Is this also? It's not. Yeah, it's okay. So let's create a public. Let's just do it. Public list spell mod. Spell mods. We don't have spell mod saved and added to solution yet. There we go, and then go down here somewhere and just do public void spell mods. Add spell mod. We're gonna have a remove and an apply, I think. Spell mods, add spell mod, and then we will apply it. We do something like this. So this is the entry point. Add spell mod is what's going to be called. Or should it be inverted so that this gets called from spell mod? Maybe. Let's keep it like this for now. Then we can get a list, and we can also do like public void remove spell mod. Spell mod. Spell mod. Spell mods. Remove spell mod, and then we will also run spell mod remove this or something. Apply and remove. Is there another better thing? order independent. I'm gonna use. I have to be careful, but I have set it up so that my, for example, my charges mod here, or charges, cost charges, anything that's gonna be modified by the spell mod is gonna be using. It's gonna use the stack stat interface, which is a way to easily, like if I add something to the stack, it will be modifying the thing in the order, and then whenever you remove it, it's gonna redo the whole stack stat instead of like trying to modify the values. So we have one spell mod base class now. Now let's create the cost charges mod or spell mod, and then we're gonna add to solution, and we're gonna call this spell mod, and we're gonna do like override, and I hope it would. Oh, we'll figure it out. The can apply. We actually want that too. Gonna be base, can apply, spell, and spell get component cost charges not equals null. So we need to have a cost charges thing on there for this to be able to be applied. And then we have to do var cost charges equals this. Oh, DV music, what's up? So for example, if we want to have like public int add charge and set that to 1, there's a problem in where we have to have stat modifiers here. I don't remember how I did these. Probably in stack stat. These are interfaces, so I have to create a special thing here that inherits that. So let's do like public class. Charge modifier. Maybe it doesn't have to be. Maybe it can be in here. Call it add charge or something. Modifier. We're gonna have public int add charges equals 0, or just add charges, and then we'll have this inherit or implement I modify stat modifier int, and then we'll implement this interface. And then I wonder, can I actually get this here? If this was like a local thing, this would work in no. Okay, whatever. Can I reference add shard here? Oh, sorry, I haven't followed chat. What are you saying, Mind Rage? Maybe you want spell mods to have a fixed static priority value. No, I don't need that. This becomes a little bit cumbersome, but now we can do add charge modifier here. When we remove, we can do remove modifier add charge. It says cast charges here, so we gotta get that out of there too. So more or less we create a charge modifier that will modify the stat that comes in. We add this to the stack on the count, for example, and then we get this. So do you want to have a way to apply this? This is going to be purchasable. We just say, wait, that can actually be on the spell mod side of this. Go to definition, purchasable. And I think this is also going to be a damage source very soon, so let's use that. Purchasable, implement interface, and the only thing we're gonna do is get the spell. Oh, this is an interesting part because we don't know which spell to apply to. So what's gonna happen here is when we purchase it, we're gonna show a list of spells that it can be applied to, and then we apply it. The problem is, can be purchased, so we need to do like interact, spells, player, spells, any, I think this needs to be link, yeah, thank you. Spell dot, this is the one we're gonna pass to our can apply thing. So if we can purchase it, now the problem is that on purchase is not something that we can do over several frames. because this is not an IEnumerator and it's not going to be called as coroutine. So for now, to do, show select spell UI. For now, we're just gonna pick the first one, the first spell that applies. We just do like spells, interact. Well, more or less this. Where first or default and then want to apply to this, and we do spell dot add spell mod this. So when we purchase this item, we're gonna apply this thing through this, because this one runs the apply method, adds, and it goes in here, and that is overridden in cost charges, apply, and it applies that thing with the charges. Cool. So now we're gonna do base value of 1, and then we're gonna add another empty here, call this spell mods, create new cost charges mod, we don't have just pick a random one. I'm not sure why this shows up outside. Spell mod. Here is one cost charges spell mod. Got cost charges, got shop item. It also should have one more, shouldn't it? What? Isn't there like no, it's just the shop item and that one. So okay, cool. Let's go grab our shop interactable. This one, I think. If we drag it to here, where in here? That's good. And then we're gonna initialize it with something. Public shop item. Call it like debug item or something. And then we'll on start if debug item not equals null, initialize with debug item. So this is when we're using this without the shop part of things. I wonder if there's gonna be an issue. Maybe there will be, maybe there won't. But this is just for testing, so cool. So now we should be able to take this one, not this one, this one, and give it the cost charges shop item, and then that should initialize. We should be able to buy it. So it says shop item cost charges spell mod not found in dictionary. So we got it now. Now we have 2 charges. And if we restart, we're gonna have 1 charge. And then we buy this. It seems to be working. I wanted to actually restore the charges even if you're not shooting. This is a little bit buried. So let's see if we can do that with cost charges. Inside of the update loop, we'll have something. Updates. So instead of this, more or less, I would say like do we restore 1 and 1 or do we restore all of them? That could be a thing, XO. Sure. Gotta have that int awesomeness. Or is it a float awesomeness? What do you think? So we could do... Well, just check if current charges is equal to count current value, we just return. So we know we want to at some point do a recharge. So now we can have a float lost recharge is 0, and then we do if time utils since lost recharge is larger than or equal to recharge interval current value. Lost recharge is going to be time.time, and we want to restore our charges. And we have this thing where it recharges, so we can probably put this in there. I don't know if I want this at all. It is kind of nice to have it. Let's see. The other part is when we use it during cast, we will reset the timer to be lost recharge equals time.time, so that when you shoot, it doesn't like directly give you back your charges. Also, restore charge. Do we do one at a time with that, or do we do all of them at once? We'll see. So let's do one at a time here. Okay, so now we can do shoot, and then it immediately goes restore charges. So that's wrong. Maybe recharge interval is a weird value. It's 1, so it should be quite a long time. Oh, wait. That's not where we should do it. We should do it here. But I do think that happens at the same time, so maybe there's some weird timing issue here. I've never used Godot, so no. Okay, so now we get that, and now we can buy this, and now we can do like 2 fast charges, and then it restores 2. Another pasty white Swedish dude, maybe. Or should we recharge all of the charges? Thank you. It could be, yeah. You just add it here, like. But I want it to be something. You could do a recharge count like this. Current value. Also, if not, is it called if spell equals null or current charges equals, yeah, well, then we return. So we're not getting this if we're not having this thing equipped. So we can do like base value of 5 here, and we'll try to give you back that many. So we can do 1 and then store charges. And then we buy this. We can decide on, for example, for the let's say we try to apply this to the sorry, blanking here. Arcane Bolt as well. We should have a totally different thing. We do like cost charges and count. Let's say we have 10. Use interval. That's gonna be this thing. Yeah, so we need to kind of remove the internal thing from this if we want to use that. A recharge count here could be like 10 or like 3 or something, and then recharge interval. Let's say a second there too, just to try it out. I can kind of shoot 10 and then it takes a while, and then you can shoot again a few, and then I think we gotta have some really good UI for this if we wanna One thing I want to do is do that classical kind of, you have a bunch of things floating on top of your head that kind of sway a little bit, and then those are the actual thing that are released, like little shards of ice or something in this case. I think this one should be like, recharge count should be the same as the base value, or like anything. Let's do 999, and then that sounds like an angry German person. 999. Sorry. This worked. A little bit surprised that this just worked. And then if we pick up the upgrade for this one, we're gonna get one additional charge. Let's say we add two charges or something. So now we can do like shoot, and then we gotta wait, and then recharge. We can hold it in, that's nice. Cool. We can do 10, and then restores, and then we do 12. Recharges. I wonder how it would be to play with this. Because we really want some kind of UI that is close to the player, probably, to know what's going on. Cool. Can we apply this directly to, for example, the grenade toss? Just add cost charges. Let's say we have one charge by default, and then use interval comes from this, and then recharge interval is this has an interval of 1, and then we have recharge interval of 1. That's gonna be 2, or how does that work? And we recharge all of them or something. Let's try this out. So in grenade toss, you can now throw 1, and then it charges restore. I think it's way too slow now, because it kind of has to do 2 counts. Let's bring this down to 0.125. I can do like 1, 1, 1, and so on. And then we pick this up, which is add 3 charges. Do like 3 clicks. Actually, we can just hold it in and go. Do 1, do 2, or that was actually 3. I like where this is going. It's not hitting the... Oh, it doesn't have a glider. That's right. It feels like... maybe the rail could be like recharge 1 or something. And it has a higher recharge interval. So it's like 0.25 or something. Let's try this out. Player, no, not player, run manager, rail, see how this feels. And then, so we can like shoot once. Oh, this is pretty fast. That was not what I intended. That is not what I intended. So how do I want it? You can still have one user. No, I want it to be fast, and then recharge interval should be like 1 second then, I guess. What if you had like a, did I say hello, Lolig? Hello. What if you had like a projectile spawner asset, so you could make things fork or nova or things like that? Sort of do. Now I got that, and now I can buy this, and then we can do. No, it doesn't work like the trickle in recharge count. It feels like it probably should be. Hey, Wills, Prime sub, thank you. Should we always fully recharge? So now we can do this. That's some cool little like swirly effect where it's recharged. Pick this up and I can do 3 quick. Maybe even faster than that. Can we hold it in? Nope. The problem with the fast recharge but not fully is that it's gonna... You can shoot really fast then and then it doesn't matter. That was what I tried just before. Like if you had recharge count of 1 and then a use interval of 1, that makes you can shoot every 2 seconds, I think. You shoot and then you gotta wait and then it comes back. About that, like that, and then so if I try to spam, I can't shoot very fast, and then I get the upgrades. Then I cannot spam because it's still the same more or less. So it just doesn't quite work. So I think recharge count. It always recharges all of them. Should we remove this recharge count and just... Yeah, let's add it back when we feel like it. Let's just do all of them. Delay, then recharge rate. I don't think it matters. The math is always going to be like for rail. I want to shoot it kind of slowly. Actually. Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But let's not jump to conclusions. Let's try the other way around, where we have a fast user interval. No, it's not gonna work. So what we could do is do not, like, if you empty something, like I don't, like if I do this, it's gonna be half a second. Yeah, but this is gonna be like gonna fill it up really quickly. But maybe there should be a delay before it starts recharging. That's a different thing. That I could see. So keep track of when the last shot was. Nah. Let's get... This public, yes, so we can restore charges from the shop item. Cost charges spell mod. Just apply that too. Burst rate. Oh, CEO, I am published by someone. I also have some money saved up from when I was working with as a consultant or a contractor. Also have a girlfriend who has an income, which helps. Yeah, of course. I try to be as open as I can, like from a contractual standpoint. I think I'm fine saying that. Ah, I'm out of Coke again. Let me get some. Cola. Yeah, like almost. If you count everyone, then I think you're correct. If you count like successful indies, I think a lot of indies actually can support themselves. Depends. Yeah, me too, EXO. Come back anytime. You're welcome. So... Thank you, Bob. I think I'm the only person on the internet that still enjoys gent stuff. I'm just old-fashioned that way. So, I'm gonna go ahead and say no recharge count. We're just gonna restore all the charges. There might be other things that restore charges though. That's interesting. Like, say a crit can restore a charge for a random spell. I'm gonna take a look at projectile spell. See how I do like the inter... yeah, so I have a while loop here that enables me to launch projectiles until any of the tick cast things returns a false, and then I break out of the loop. And then I have this wait for seconds here. The question is this, button pressed. So when do I start running the cast sequence? Will this just work if I remove... Let me check that. If I pick the projectile spell and I just remove the loop, would it work the same? Only very, very fast? Kind of want to do that though. I think we want to do that at least. And I'm thinking remove that too, so we don't have like an interval in here. We have that as a specific thing, and then we can have another spell mod that reduces the interval for everything that has the interval modifiable thing on there. So let's just see what happens if we do this. And we gotta restore Arcane Bolt. And we have a use interval here, which is gonna be removed, I think. So this is gonna be shooting every frame, I think. Yep. Vroom. So it sort of works. Let's see here. So where do we add this interval? It's use interval. Just gonna add a frame delay here. I'm not sure. Do I need during cast for this? Remove the use interval. Just have the recharge interval. There's nothing happening when I'm clicking. No! Unity crash. Oh well. First for the day, which is pretty good. It's like over 3 hours of streaming, and yeah. It's still doing that. Now, let's create another, like an interval. Call this like a cost interval. It's gonna be a mono behavior, and it's gonna inherit from high during cost. We're gonna have a public stack stat. Oh, it's added to the solution. Stack stat of type float interval, and we're gonna have implement this I during cost thing. This is never doing anything other than that. And then during cost, we'll do like yield new wait for wait. Yield return new wait for seconds interval current value. We should have spells. I'm seeing a world without blessings here. So now we're adding the interval, cost interval. Here we go. And then we'll add the base value of 0.125 or 135, whatever. It should be this value, I guess, to be the same as before. There. Cool. Let's remove that annoying text. This one, maybe we could keep, but for now, let's just get rid of that and I don't know. We'll figure it out. I can shoot. It's gonna stop. It's gonna be. Yeah, and then we buy this and we can shoot a little bit more. Thank you, Len. I think this is why I'm getting depressed when I'm not streaming. Like the constant influx of like nice words. Okay, cool. So this works. So let's add it to the other stuff. So dash, for example, I don't want cooldown. I want charges. Cost charges, and we want interval. Cost interval. And the cost interval is gonna be something. Is there no? Okay. It's a good project, yes. Me and my brother. Brother handles sound and music, which you haven't heard any of. Well, I guess you heard a little bit of sound. Where does this get? It's. Is there any? Doesn't seem to be. So we have one charge by default, and every second we get all the charges back, and then we can do it every 0.125 seconds, so 8 times a second if we have a lot of things. But it's also like there's a duration in here, so maybe whatever, that's gonna be fine. So we'll see. The problem is now that we can't buy this and apply it to the dash. That's fine. Oh, we had the cooldown before. I see. The rail is gonna need the interval too. And it's gonna be every 0.25 or something. A little bit slower, like 4 times a second if you shoot quickly. Maybe 5 times a second. Because I feel like 2.5 was a little bit slow. Sure, Blizzard just has cooldown. It doesn't have any charges. I wonder if I want to modify that. Let's just keep it as it is. Just to have some variation. And then Grenade Toss needs to have the interval in here too. It's 0, 1, 2, 5 is the interval, I think. Let's get rid of like interval and interval and stuff. Get this to the left if we could. Shoot. We can dash once and then wait and then dash again. We don't get the cooldown timers here anymore. Something we have to figure out how to handle. So what if we apply the same thing to multiple stuff? This is actually interesting. Interesting thing. So we got cost charges. Where is it? Spell mod. So currently we added to the first one. Let's just pick all of them and apply it. So if no, for each var spell in spells, which I can't spell fittingly, this is applied to all of them for now. So we should be able to dash a lot more after we pick the item up. But we have to figure out a way to like apply. So now we can dash this often. If I just spam it, it's like dash, dash. Pick this up. It should be. Whoops. No refs. Oh. Spell oh. But at the same time, this should have crashed before. Maybe it worked before because the first one. Maybe not. So dash, pick it up. So it's like. I feel like I should be able to dash even faster between those dashes when I have the upgrade. I think it's a matter of the duration, or maybe it's like interval. that's 50 times a second. Welcome, friend. Slow dashing, pick it up. Hello, Eddie. Hello, Sicko. No, it works. This works. I'm not even mad. It works. Do the slow dashes, and then we can dash, dash, dash. I think I might need an interval on that one now. Or do we do charges on this one too? Yeah, why not? So we start with one charge and then recharge interval. Something slower, like 2? I'm just thinking, like, assume that we have no upgrades, we have one, and then it takes 2 seconds before you can place the next one. That's fine. Then we make it add a charge. We can do 2 really quickly. If we add the interval. And make it like 0.125. That seems to be our default value. So we can do it 8 times a second. If we just madly click. So now I'm clicking, and then you can do this, and do this, and then we do this, and we can do like 1, 2, 3. If we get that upgrade. That's a lot of damage there, probably. So I'm gonna go ahead and say none require button release, or I don't think this even works here, to be honest. So okay, let's get rid of this. Let's make the game run as intended. Again, run manager, enable. And we're gonna remove the possibility for upgrade rooms. Or no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna So how to get forward here? I'm gonna turn off all the blessings. I just gotta turn it off. And then we will still have our, where is it? Should be under spell mods. There it is. This one is active. This one will have a cost. It will add 2 charges, Turnham, what's up? We'll have more or less just one thing that you can buy. Let's set it to 1 for now. Now I'm gonna set it to be a blessing. I'm just gonna cheat and say this is a blessing. It's not a blessing. And I think we're good. Like, the upgrade shop needs to go. We can't have upgrade shops anymore. Room type. Or what is it? Room. Upgrade is the one that's gonna be this. Right, okay. So haven't used it in ages. I used to run visual scripting. I used to run a little bit of Playmaker, I think it was called, and it was pretty cool for like enemy AI. But other than that, I haven't used a lot of it. There's a new bolt and stuff, but haven't touched it. So in the upgrade room, this is what can spawn in the upgrade room. So what I'm thinking is anything that can be purchased that is of type upgrade or what is this? You get composed spell from shop item. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's get rid of this. I'm not sure what base stuff is. It's like it can't be special reroll. Oh, okay. So we don't need spell. We need only if shop item type is spell mod and can purchase we need to pass and interact here. Do we have player? So now upgrade rooms should be able to contain this. Also, if it's blessing, we shouldn't have blessings because there are no blessings. So there's a random in here that selects which shop room type there is. We want to make sure that's not a blessing. I guess blessing rooms will also contain the ones now. Oh, sure. Do that and switch it back to whatever that is. It's gotta be a spell mod again. It's not happy. Come on. Like, should this really be called with a null spell? I don't think it's this. Yeah, let's see where this is used. So it's used here, where spell not equals null and can apply. So it can't be from there. It could be here, but that's using this. So no. Okay, so here we also have to do this shit. Okay, now I can shoot. That's fine. Oh, I can dash through walls too, apparently. It's a little bit longer between dashes than I'm used to. But maybe that's fine with the upgrade. So sacrifice. I'll get the grenade toss as well. Yep, sure. Let's see if we can survive until any kind of shop here. We got a spell shop and upgrade shop. Let's do this one. Why did I not just... Oh, well... Live and learn, I guess. I can cheat. I have the power. Let's go directly to the upgrade shop and see. It's in there. It's in there. Now I can shoot this fast. I can pick this up and I can do 2 shots quickly and even 2 of those quickly. Cool. Let's continue. Heal a little bit. And then we have another upgrade shop and this should be another one of those. And this is going to be interesting. If this works, yeah, and I can shoot 3 charges and 3 of those. I wonder if also I should make it possible to just hold your button down for all of them. So people don't get like RSI from clicking, including myself. Okay, this works. Now we just have to make a whole bunch of these. And I think that's maybe something that will happen after lunch. So I want to make sure that we're not... having too big of a downgrade in things to buy. Or you get what I'm saying. So the next build of the game for the testers is gonna be as interesting or hopefully more interesting than what is here currently or like previously. And it'll have this new feature. I also think it would be cool if it was like the Blizzard was placeable using the controller. And then maybe we can add another spell and then we can have like charge upgrade, haste update that reduces the interval, things like that. So I think what I'm gonna do is take a break, eat something, and then come back to you, and then we'll implement a whole bunch of these purchasable spell mods, and we'll also have to figure out a way to apply the spell mod to a specific spell. But we'll figure it out. So Cool. Let's raid someone. We have quite a few people here. Twitch. Software and game dev. Coding. I guess game dev is what I want. Maybe remove coding. Prismatica. Bar Dads in Space. Shader. Oh, this is Donho. Maybe Share the Love. Pogo, maybe? Game dev. Comics. Thank you, DV. Retro MMO. Yeah, let's do Retro MMO. It's fine. Let's go in here. And then I'll do like Flash.
He's like 30.
Raid.
Rezi's not even 30.
Cannot paste in here with commands. You gotta do it with right click. Weird.
Yo, we need
There we go. So yeah, thank you all for hanging out. I'll be back in maybe 2 hours or something, and then we'll make something really cool with what we set up this morning. Hopefully, like improving how it feels to shop in the game, have more options that feel reasonable instead of only a few one actually matter.
I cannot bring chat.
Yeah.
I mean, I could like toggle
Hugs and
between
kisses.
Twitch and
Be
video over and
nice.
over, but,
Bye-bye.
Like, it's not gonna work. I have an iPhone, so I can't do like picture in picture. But if you send messages, I can try to predict what you're sending.